broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first. Perfection, expect nothing else. Do you like to make yourself a hot cup of coffee to start your day? We have both whole bean and grounded. Also great for all you iced coffee if not a hot kind of person. Even make yourself a frappe to quench your thirst. The best tasting coffee with espresso. It's only $18.99 plus taxes for a 12-ounce bag. Buy 1 to 5 bags and shipping is only $7. If you spend over $100, shipping is absolutely free.
Hey, good morning and welcome to a Football Sunday. It is Halas Ball Report, and of course I've got a man who has zero opinions about anything related to football. Good morning, Woody. How you doing this morning?
Lovely. How are you?
Yeah, well, it's Sunday. It's football. We're breathing still. And, of course, we got Mike the Bear fan. He's doing his thing in the back, throwing the show all over the place. Oh, and there's Bear Down Mike. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
So we got us another war week. 6 of the last 8 were going to be war week. Last week, of course, ended on a blocked field goal and a 1-point loss to Green Bay Packers. Oh, that game still hurts. Today, though, we got the Minnesota Vikings coming to Soldier Field. This should be an interesting game, but let's talk about last week a little bit. What did you guys think of the new OC situation in Chicago?
I was impressed. I was play calling was, I think it was set for that last drive, but got to pick up the running game a little bit. Just gave up too many big plays, but the OC I think did a pretty good job for his first game.
Yep. He wasn't predictable like Waldron is.
Well, I think that's
and he used Roshan on short yardage needed.
I think that's one of,
we were backed up in our own end zone. He's using Roshan to get those extra yards. That was smart.
I think that's one of his coming into this week. That's one of the advantages. No one knows his tendencies yet, right? It's hard to figure out tendencies off of one game. Minus maybe using Roshan on short yardage. Everything's still a little bit masked. What was great last week is everyone all the receivers caught the ball, right? Keenan had catches, DJ had catches, Rome had catches, Cole Kmet had catches. Both running backs ran the ball. Caleb ran the ball. I loved that we finally saw designed runs for Caleb. And that Caleb had the green light to just take off and go, which he did on that one right up the middle when they ran 4. They rushed 4 and the middle opened up. He said, 15 free yards. Nice. Good to see. It was a completely different offense. I mean, come on. We scored on the first drive last week. I mean, that's the first time this year.
We got 13 points total in the first quarter.
Yeah.
The entire season. It's pretty sad.
But this defense,
But it's progression.
This defense we're going to see today is better against the run than Green Bay. They get better pressure on the quarterback than Green Bay. Their secondary is weaker by a lot, but so that if you get the ball out, that bodes well. This is going to be an interesting game today.
We'll see how interesting it is.
Got to get that running game going.
I know we're out some guys. The Swift's playing though, right?
They're
Do we have the new injury report for today?
the
What you got
updated
there?
one. The updated one. Wow, it keeps moving around. Swift, Allen are questionable. Hicks and Bates are out. And for Minnesota, Murphy and Oliver are out. So there's gonna be a whole lot of Hawkinson today because Oliver is out. So
Yeah, and this is Hawk's first game back, isn't it? I believe it is.
I thought it was second.
Did he come back last week? Maybe he did come back last week. Yeah, maybe it was. Still, I'm sure we'll see a steady dose of Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Let's hope Jalen Johnson doesn't slip and fall again this week, huh?
Yeah.
Because he's going to be on Jordan. JJ's going to be on JJ today. So let's hope we can contain JJ, make them run, and control that run. If we can, our problem with the run isn't that we've been terrible on the run. It's that we give up like one or two big chunk plays a game, and that skews our yardage. But overall, they're decent on the run, like for 90% of the game. But they'll give up one or two of these big chunk 20, 30, 40-yard plays, and that's how we end up with the averages we end up with. I mean, but if you look at the game throughout the whole ebb and flow, the Bears are pretty decent against the run overall. It's just they got to stop these big chunk plays.
Yeah, we give up plays that are crucial for the other team to score.
Right.
That's what hurts us.
It's just, I don't know what the difference is, but with this year to last, but
we got to continue third down percentages. We were awesome last week.
Yeah, 9 of 13 on third down last week, 3 and 3 on fourth downs last week. Some really good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb looked like a completely different guy last week. Rome looked really good. I mean, a lot of people looked. The offensive line, there were some of those pockets on some of those longer plays where he had all day. It's like the play calling, the running has definitely changed this offensive line.
It's like the players didn't want to play for Waldron.
Yeah,
I agree.
Right. And I don't think any of us had pegged Rome to be the leading receiver at this point in the season.
He's 479 yards. Yep.
You know what? I don't think any of us did, but there are people that on the network, on some of the shows we've done, that did actually predict that for this year, that Rome would be the guy. There were a couple people, some of the guys talk or comment on the morning show, were saying that Rome could be the guy yardage wise in Chicago this year.
Because they predicted that DJ Moore would probably get doubled the whole year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that he is, because they had that great connection even from the draft. So that connection was already there. I'm not totally surprised, but I think DJ was very frustrated under Shane Waldron. He looked a lot better last week. I hope
he's not running that same route that was Waldron had him in.
And I know that I'm sure they added some more wrinkles this week. I just hope they stay within the skill set of the O line. That's the skill set that we need to play against right now a little bit, right? Because if they can't protect, it doesn't matter how good everyone else is. So we still need some O line help, but the O line, it just goes to show how play calling can change the fortunes of an O line. You know what I mean? I mean, the O line looked fantastic for the most part.
Yeah, without Bates though, he has a concussion.
Yeah, he's only played like 2 games this year.
Yeah, not much. Pryor's taking a spot, right?
Yeah, because Jenkins is back. Pryor's been going between right guard and left guard. If Jenkins out, he's been going to the left guard. Pryor also played left tackle in the Arizona game. So Pryor's becoming the new Swiss Army knife of this line.
We need Jenkins to stay healthy. That's what they need.
Pryor's played pretty decently well everywhere we've put him on the line. So Pryor starting at right guard today, I'm not upset about. But yeah, you're right. Seven needs to be healthy. He needs to find a way to stay healthy for this whole game. Because if he goes down, and now we're in the backups, that's when the problems happen.
Yep, Curran's coming in.
Hey, Curran hasn't been terrible. He's good for a series, but
He's a backup really, for a reason.
Yeah, they're all backups for a reason. This whole next man up stuff sounds nice, but it's not good. It's not sustainable.
Definitely need a win, Robert, just for the morale.
Woody for Prez. I don't fucking disagree with you. I just didn't get enough votes this year.
No, we all wrote his name in, and we're already beating the Woody administration.
It's because I don't drink the coffee. That's what it is.
I do.
Yeah, Jody drinks it. So you're okay there.
Yep.
But we all knew if Woody would be president, actually, he'd be a puppet president, and Jody would be pulling the strings. So,
Yep. Yepper. But with JJ, he's second in the league in receiving yards. So Jalen Johnson's got a stick on him. Hopefully he has his right spikes on today.
Yeah.
But we cannot rear away from Addison. Addison's another sneaky receiver for Minnesota.
Tyreek is going to have a decent game on him too. I mean, look,
they're going to target him a lot.
Everyone, he's the most targeted guy in the NFL, but obviously because JJ's there. But you know what, though? That's another thing, though. If you look at Stevenson, the numbers say, oh, he's always targeted. Well, yeah, because JJ. But the numbers against Tyreek Stevenson are not that good. He is still a pretty damn good
taunter.
Pass deflector. His pass defense numbers are actually pretty good. So it's not like when teams are going at him because obviously he's not as good as JJ, but it's kind of like he's the lesser of the two evils. You know what I mean? That's the only reason they're going because he's not a guarantee. They're fighting hard to try to get anything past him. You just think he's not as good as JJ. That's all.
I think Kyler's better than Stevenson.
I think Corden last week too, on his his game back, he tackled pretty well. He's got to get in that backfield too again. Maybe some cornerback blitzes.
Yeah, I admit that we definitely need some of that. And this is also where we're missing Brisker. We were definitely missing Brisker because the different looks he can give in the scheme. I think that's affected us a little bit, but I just hope he's okay because he's out 10 weeks with a concussion. My God.
If he goes the whole 4 games, that's 9 weeks.
Yeah. Well, week 5 was his last game.
Yeah.
So, was it week 5 or week 6?
It was the Jacksonville game.
Was it Jackson?
No. He didn't.
It was
week 5.
That's right. He didn't go to Carolina. He didn't go. He didn't go to London. That's right.
He didn't go to London. Then we had the bye week, and then he missed.
That's when he hit Tremble. The tight end.
And then he didn't go to Arizona. He didn't play New England. He didn't play last week. He's not playing this week. Yeah. Hope we get the guy back. He's key. So. Yeah.
And you just remember, Aaron. The Minnesota has Aaron Jones. He was practicing full the last couple of days.
And that's a guy right there.
He's not 100%, right?
Yeah, but it does. It's a division game.
Yeah,
you're going to be up for it. And we saw a lot of Aaron Jones when he was in Green Bay. And
I mean, week 1 last year, he took that game over.
Mm-hmm.
He was the catalyst that created so much for Jordan Love and that Packers team. He took that game and said, "Okay, boys, follow me," and they did, and they won.
So against both of our lines, defense has got to get on Sam Darnold. Everybody, all the teams are making him look like a fucking Pro Bowler. So
we definitely need to get some pressure on Darnold and contain that run some. Don't let Aaron Jones get into a groove. Don't let him get those little easy dump off passes, which then, because if he gets those little dump off passes, that affects his run game in such a positive way. So we got to protect. So Sanborn needs to just be all over him.
We just got to watch those big plays on defense because that's what fucked us last week. Christian Watson, those 2 throws. You take those 2 throws away,
Yep.
Green Bay loses.
Yep.
Well, the second big throw, though, man. I mean, I don't know if their feet got tangled because they both started.
Yeah,
to go
their
down.
feet got tangled. But you gotta see. This is what I'm thinking now. Even if Jalen Johnson's would have stayed up, would have been toe to toe with Watson, or Watson still had a little bit of a
Watson
step on him.
Watson still had a step on him.
So
Watson, I mean, look at Watson had to make the play he had to make that catch. Number one, I don't know if Jalen Johnson's draped on him, if he makes that,
but he would have touched him down.
Yeah, like Jalen being on him might have affected his ability to catch it, but he definitely would have been down by contact, right? Instead of getting up and running for another 30 yards.
60 total.
60. Yeah. I mean, it was like a 20, 30-yard throw and like 30 yards after the catch. But I mean, give Watson credit for just the amazing catch, and then having the wherewithal to realize, oh, wait a minute, no one's touched me, I can run. So that was great heads-up play by him on bad luck for Jalen Johnson. So, but yeah, without that play, I don't think Green Bay gets that last touchdown.
No.
But I mean,
nope.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right?
But Bears red zone offense or defense is fucking amazing. Like that, I was surprised that Green Bay went for it on that 4th down, and that it was like a coverage sack. But then Jordan Love took off, and we creamed them at like the 2 or 3 yard line.
Yeah. So as far as the game, Hugh, Mike, if you're on the subscription side or talk to Mike, we have something set up. So if you're not already on the subscription side, get with Mike, the Bear fan, and we'll get you squared away.
See, and last week's game, and I just want to touch the last. So me and Ken, disagreed on that. I think even though there was a chance of turning the ball over or losing yards, I would have ran a play with a timeout left to get a little bit closer. And Santos, he looked, I don't know if it was low kick or he kicked it low or whatever.
He kicked a line drive.
Yeah. So it could have been, a double-edged sword there. Who knows?
Yeah. Like I was saying, if he makes it, we don't say a word about it.
Right.
I get both arguments.
Yeah.
Because when I look at the argument of why he did it, okay, the first 2 drives of the play, you took sacks.
That's a loss of time.
And that was time and yardage, and you're in a comfortable yardage right now for Santos. But if you take a penalty, you take any kind of negative play, does that knock you out of his field goal range? And that's why on Wednesday I was saying I love Santos.
Yeah,
he's been super consistent, but we need to bring in one of these kids who can knock it in from 55, 58 yards.
Well,
and once you get to 49, 50, Santos becomes a little iffy.
And that was a 46-yarder.
That was 46. So he's fine.
Right. But it's still like he can't, like, what his career high is, what, a 53, 54? 54. So even a 46 yards, is, yes, it's in his range, but but if you would have got, like say if you had Roshan, ran 2 or 3 yards, that would have been what, a 43, 40 yard.
40 or 43, it's easier maybe, but Santos up until about 48 is pretty much automatic. It's once you get to 48, 49, that's when it's missed the start.
Or another thing they could have did too is could have gave the ball to Caleb and just ran to the middle of the field.
Right.
Our RPO and just take off, because the edge was coming in. He could have went around him. But I was listening to Get Up the other day, and they were talking about Santos likes to hit from the right hash mark. And Poles was being told to do. I don't know if it's true or not.
The hash mark had nothing to do with it, though. It was on target. It was
how Cairo likes to kick it. That's what they were talking about. Cairo likes to kick from a certain hash mark, and they refuse to do it. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I was hearing.
Well, you're correct. You're correct, Mike, but at the same time, he didn't kick it low or nothing. The
No.
line just didn't hold nobody, and he got through
Right.
and blocked it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and
Bourne was
here's
sitting
the
on
Nice
his
for you to
ass.
join us, Mike. It's nice. It's
I
nice
was
to hear
listening.
from you.
I was listening the whole time.
and once again, though, with the way this offensive line and procedure penalties, just to move it to the right hash mark, you risk going back 5 yards on a false start or some procedure penalty. So
Right. I mean, he's got to make it no matter what. The
yeah,
special teams. I
but
mean, Borum is sitting on his ass, and
this is why
whoever our
on
long snapper
Wednesday.
is going to get killed.
But this is why on Wednesday I said I would not be surprised if at camp next year the Bears bring in some kid who can boot it from 58 yards. Because you'll go back to week 2, and that's a perfect example. We only lose in week 2 because the Texans have a guy who knocked in 3 field goals from 55 plus.
Fair, Baron.
Yeah,
The
fair.
defense played well enough. The Bears could have beaten the Texans in week 2. But they're knocking in field goals from 53, 55, 56, whatever. We can't do that. We're 56 yards out. We're punting. Other teams are 56 yards out. They're kicking a field goal and getting 3 points.
And I guarantee if we had like an Aubrey, Fairbairn, we probably would have just kneeled the ball down right then and there and tried for the field goal. But with Santos, I would at least either A, got a few more yards, or B, have Kayla Williams just get into the middle.
Cairo,
of
you
the
need
field.
to hit the gym, man. You need to build up some leg strength.
Well,
because,
think about anything under 40.
Messi's training him off season, so that's what I heard.
As long as
Anything under 40 yards, he's 100% on. That's
who cares?
That's really good, but he's 76. Anything above that,
Right?
Not terrible, but
he's
good.
He's
He's won us games in the past.
Well, so look it up to about 47 yards, he's automatic. At 48, that's when the misses start happening. And the problem is in this league, teams are kicking it from 55, 56 yards out and getting points, and we're not.
Oh, we're going to
draft. If you look at week,
fourth
round,
yeah, sorry.
And if you look at week 2, if you look at the Texans game as a prime example, the Texans, if they have Cairo Santo as their kicker or Cairo Santo like kicker, dude, we beat the Texans in week 2.
And it's his strength of his leg because that's a dome stadium.
It's leg strength. It's all about leg strength. So Cairo, you need to hit the gym, and you need to build up that leg strength coming into next season because we need you to be kicking 55, not 46.
Here, let me call Rinaldi quick. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. See if you can train him too. Hold on.
Ronaldo?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah,
he's not. I'm sorry, he's not answering his phone right now.
Well, that's just
messy.
It definitely came across Woody on his screen. He probably hit that fuck you button. He hit the end button. Fuck you.
Cristiano, he's sitting over there in Saudi Arabia going, why is some dude from the U.S. calling?
That's why I don't know by NFL teams. NFL teams should do that more often.
It should.
You know what I mean? Get these players. I don't fucking care. Give them a contract. Give them a workout at least. Bring them in training camp. See how they kick.
The kid from Dallas is a little different story, though. I mean, what the NFL guys need to be doing is watch the MLS Superdraft.
He is
watch
disgusting.
these guys.
That
watch these guys who don't make a roster because, he was like a first-round pick in the MLS. Didn't even make it 2 seasons. Yeah. He got, and now he started kicking footballs. Those are the guys NFL scouts need to be looking at. And there are a couple of them out there.
What about that kid from the Chargers? Was it the Chargers? The one that we're doing lawn care or some shit.
Yeah. There are a couple like that. We needed some bigger leg. I mean, I love Cairo. He just needs a bigger leg. Because he has a bigger leg. I don't know if that changes last week's outcome. But it probably changes sometimes some situations where the Bears have punted, other teams are kicking field goals and getting points on the board.
Well, because if you have really, really high leg strength, that would have had that ball higher. Think about it.
That's true. And then also just the ability to score from 55 yards out, adding 10 yards of range, of consistent range. I mean, but look, I love Cairo. He's been consistent, especially coming off of Cody Parkey. He's been great for us. I'm not trying to throw shade at him. But the league has changed. The league is looking for kickers that can put the ball in consistently from 55 yards out, and he doesn't have the leg strength to do it. He's not far off, right? He just needs to get some more leg strength, which just means go to the gym, get strength.
Right.
That's what he's got to do.
Get those steroids going,
I mean, and look at Green Bay. They made a play. I mean, look at everyone acts when it's something like that. Oh, the Bears should have done X. Well, the Bears did nothing wrong. The snap was good. The kick was good. Green Bay just made a play. That happens in football. Sometimes the other team, like when we beat them, because we make a play. Sometimes when we lose, it's because they made a play.
Well, see, last week, I'm not the only mistake. The last drive with those, the offensive line took a shit and just killed us with some time, which that you could blame. You could blame that last kick too on our offensive line giving those 2 sacks. But last week, you let me know the last time Bears had a late fourth quarter lead on Green Bay.
I can't remember in the last 5 years.
So yeah, absolutely. So
when Trubisky was playing,
unbelievable.
No, even those Trubisky games were done by the third quarter for the most part.
And we never forget about the 20-0 halftime lead, and then Aaron Rodgers got a shot at PhD in his knee, and they came back and won. Fuck you, Randall Cobb.
Look, the Packers are always an opportunistic team. They had some opportunities last week, and they took advantage. The only thing that I didn't like is when they had their offsides. They whistled the play dead, and Caleb didn't get his shot at a free play. No one got touched. No offensive lineman touched anyone. No one really moved on the Bears side, and Caleb didn't get the shot at a free play.
I'm trying to think. Right.
There was no penalty, and I'm not trying to say, oh my God. I mean, the Bears sent it to the NFL. What's the NFL going to do? Yep, our bad. Sorry, we'll fix it for the future.
Well, Ken, you know how they have the retired referees at all the games and stuff when the commentators have a question. There was a reason why they did blow it dead, and I
think
cannot
it was in a yard or something.
They did say why, but I forgot.
Yeah, I was kind of like, really?
Because I think Green Bay did it as well. It was like there was 2 of them, one on each.
There were 2. The first one they scored is what they scored a touchdown. The second one, though, is because their lineman touched our guy when he was off. He jumped offside.
Yeah.
He raised his arm and touched him. That was dead. The Bears one was blown dead, I guess, because it was within a yard of something. It was a proximity.
Because I remember when Matt LaFleur was fuck this, fuck that on the sidelines. You can read his.
That was nice seeing him getting pissed off.
You don't see him getting pissed off. He was phenomenal coach.
That DeAndre Swift run. He's like, what the fuck?
He's a phenomenal coach, LaFleur.
For the Bears, that was for the Packers one, Rob. The Bears one, though, none of the Bears linemen touched anyone, but it was a proximity thing. I think it was because when he jumped off, he did back up. He was still there, or something. It was whatever reason they blew it dead. It wasn't a touch thing for that one.
I don't need
it was a proximity or something like that. But I was like, okay. And then on the field goal attempt, like there was no flag. The Bears, sent it to the NFL and said, hey, look, this was wrong. I mean, it's not like they're going to overturn the game. The Bears know this, but so the league can see it and instruct referees, hey, you guys aren't watching this well enough. And that's how corrections are made from game to game.
Only when we do it, though.
Remember last year? It was remember when Detroit they lost to Dallas, which they should have won. The lineman reported. And the coach complained about it, and those referees couldn't referee in the playoffs at all.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. This goes to how the refs are graded for the playoff Super Bowl system. So, I mean, look at last week. Great game. I mean, hopefully as we look forward now, about 30 minutes to kick off, we look forward to the Minnesota game.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Tom Brady said it best last week, man. You negate the defensive pass rush by getting the ball out early. So, Minnesota's got a better pass rush than Green Bay. If Caleb, they start out, I mean, they do more exotic blitzing than any team, I think, in the league. Rob Haspels this week was talking about Caleb's never seen anything like us. I don't know if I agree with that.
He said that the last 3 fucking years.
Nah, he always said that. But I mean, I think there's a little bit of truth to that about that because Caleb has not seen the way they call defense. But look, if he's getting the ball out early, I don't care how they're calling it.
Keep that same game plan as last week.
Or relatively close. Yeah, you got to change it a little.
Establish the run. You got to definitely establish the run. Quick passes. Use your check downs. Your tight ends.
We got to pick on. We got to pick on their cornerbacks.
I think we got
your deep shots when you can.
I think we got one massive question answered last week, though, and people don't realize it. And that's how fast Caleb processes. And once again, we'll turn to that run play he had when they sent 4 and he ran up the middle. You guys remember that play?
Yeah.
We gashed the middle for like 15. In the 2 seconds he dropped back, he had scanned every single one of his receivers and made the decision to go.
Well,
because the offensive line gave him that time.
No, it's like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
steps back. He took 3 steps back, and on the 3rd step, his heel touched, and he took off. And those 3 steps back were he looked at DJ, he looked at Keenan, he looked at Rome, he looked at Cole. Said, "Okay, I've got no receivers. I got a hole. I'm gone." He did all of that in about 2 seconds.
He's got to call the right coverage for his linemen. He did an audible for a play action, and that defensive end just came free running at him.
Yeah,
that sack. Remember,
he changed the rollout.
They were talking about that.
He's going to learn.
Well, that was not on him.
Yeah, that offensive lineman, they actually doubled the defensive tackle and then left the was it Rashawn Gary? Was that?
Yeah,
no, it was
57 actually. Though, Mike, you're incorrect. He did not audible. That came through the headset. That came through the headset. The headset doesn't cut off till 15 seconds or whatever, 10 or 15 seconds of the play clock. They were saying in the game as they relooked at that play with the game clock, that call came from upstairs. I don't think he's audible in anything right now. It's when it looks like he's audible, that play call is coming from upstairs. Remember the rule changed. The headset now stays on longer. It stays on for like 10 or 15 seconds up in the play clock. So a lot of times we're seeing an audible. Look at the play clock. There's like 20 seconds, 16 seconds left. That means that call is coming in from the OC. I don't think I don't think they have greenlit him to make his own audibles yet. And I'd be highly surprised if they're going to let a quarterback do audibles.
I think they do. I think they let him do what he wants. You got to let him play his game. How else are you going to learn? Right? You learn by doing it yourself, not somebody telling you what to do.
I don't think they're letting him make those calls yet, though.
You got to follow the team scheme, though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're letting him.
It's not college.
He's not. I don't think he's calling the audibles yet. I don't think they're letting him do that yet. Next year, maybe. But I don't think I really don't think he's calling it. Those are coming in from above. And then you're right, they missed an assignment, and Gary comes in untouched. But I don't think Caleb is making those calls. But Caleb is reading defenses fast. He's making quick decisions, and night and day from Fields in that regard. Night and day. And I still like how he looks downfield when he has to move out of the pocket and scramble. He's still looking for that pass option. He's
got to get that deep ball accuracy down. He's still missing guys. I mean, last week was Rome with the edge of tip of the fingers.
I mean, but the ball wasn't in a bad spot. It was just barely out of his. I mean, dude, you're talking a matter of an inch. That's hard on a 30-yard pass. I mean, I think a lot of the struggles we saw early was him hearing the pitter-patter feet chasing him down. And so his clock sped up. That's something that over time is going to improve as this clock gets better. Hey, good morning, Carrie. No, I think we'll get to the predictions, but I don't think many people here are picking Minnesota. Good morning, Cam. Cam says that he's from the Valley of the Sun this morning. They need to get the ball out quick, use the tight end, and run the ball. Mike, the Bear fan. Okay, I got your prediction up, Mike, for when we do that.
Oh, you think they're going to score that much?
Well, we'll do predict. I mean, I don't want to do predictions too early. Mike's throwing his prediction up now. He's got to go set up the game feed. So,
all right, Mike, go to the roof, bud. Go to the roof.
But now we got it. Now that we know what Mike is doing, we'll tell you guys in a minute. Hey, good morning, Yoli. How you doing?
I can tell you right now, that would be the first and last time I ever have a Cairo Santos for the field goal. Woody, it's all yours now.
Yeah,
Woody.
I mean, he fucking ruined it. What's up, Yoli? You fucking ruined it, Mike. I mean, it's like I don't want to bring this up. You're young yet, you can't use that. This is for the OGs. But what's the weather up there? Anybody know the weather in Chicago right now? I think it's
something like it's 40s.
Okay.
It's 46 degrees right now and cloudy. There is no rain for the entire length of the game. It's just going to be cloudy. The temperature will get to a high of 51 at 3 p.m. So the game will be over.
Heat wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, down here it's only a paltry 68 degrees. It's a little cold.
You keep that down there.
Down here in Florida. Yeah, I can't use my pool, and when I opened up the hot tub yesterday, steam came off. I was like, whoa.
Steam came off of you or the water?
No, the hot tub, the water.
Okay.
Well, the hot tub's at 104 degrees, and it was only
Jesus
5
Christ.
degrees last night.
It's like piss water, man. Jesus.
Well, hot tubs are supposed to be hot, but it was 65 degrees here yesterday, so there was steam.
So, Keaton may be out this game.
Who?
Did you say Allen was hurt?
No, Allen's not hurt.
Let me see if he gets the final report.
I said that earlier.
Usually he's pretty good with the injury report, but he doesn't have it out yet. Update. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, so we go back. We're wearing the 1936 throwback today. But they changed we're doing the 1936 throwback today, so that's a little interesting. The starting O-line today, left tackle will be Braxton Jones, left guard Tevin Jenkins.
Keenan
Shelton is at center. Matt Pryor is the starting right guard, and Darnell Wright will be at right tackle.
And Swift and Keenan are playing today.
Good. That's good because we need Keenan. Caleb needs Keenan for those third downs, those easy plays. Because Keenan, he's not the fastest guy, but he's a great route runner. He knows how to get separation.
With the way the line played last week, and if Brown ends up winning this audition and being the guy, and we keep our coaching staff, I know we tabled the head coach discussion for later, but let's just hypothesize. If Brown becomes, okay, this is the OC we need, and this offense starts clicking, and even if we're losing games, but if we lose games like we lost last week, that's still good enough for him to get the job, right? That just means, look, we're just not getting the luck factor yet. Like, we're there. We've solved something. Now let's look at the personnel we can bring in to change it, right? Like, what's the one player we need? Let's say
we're not going to win a lot. We're not going to win a lot of games only scoring 19 points.
Let's say but Green Bay had the top they were ranked 10 or 11, so you're playing a top tier defense,
right?
But let's say
got screened by New England, but that was one.
Let's say, who cares? New England doesn't matter anymore. It's a new OC. Okay, I don't care about New England. And anything that happened before last week with this OC does not matter offensively, right? Because that was Shane Waldron. Let's say over the next 7 weeks, this OC proves out to be the guy. The offense is showing up like it did last week, where the line is playing, we probably say 100% better than it had played under Waldron. And now we look at this line, and they're protecting, and the PFF scores are good, and they're not giving up pressures. They're not giving up sacks. Does this change the way we utilize those first 3 picks? Do we still maybe look for 2 O-linemen and an edge? Or are we saying, well, maybe we just need 1 O-line? Because if Pryor is the answer at right guard, maybe we just need a left guard now, right? And then we could get an edge with our second pick, and then take either the best O-line or the best corner with the second round
I'd
pick.
say
I'm going O-line.
I'm going O-line the first 2 picks, and then maybe a defensive
I'm
the third. I'm big on college, and I was watching the Texas game yesterday, and Kelvin Banks, the tackle for Texas, holy fuck. And
do we need a tackle? We need guards, don't we?
We need everything.
We need everything.
I don't
because
think
Larry Bourne is not going to be on this team. come next season.
Like I said, I was watching the Texas game back and forth with Georgia too, and the guard Tate from Georgia, he's going to be another high pick as well. So I definitely picked the best offensive lineman our first pick. That's just me.
Yep. So I agree. The first round pick, offensive line. Do we take that Carolina pick and make that an offensive lineman too, and then get an edge with our second round pick?
Or you sign one in free agency if there's one available that you like, that Poles likes. I doubt there's going to be one, but you never know.
I'm sticking with mine though.
With our contracts, and we have a lot of guys on our contract on this team this year, I don't see us doing much in free agency this next year. And I don't know if there's any offensive linemen that are actually going to be available that would be worth making a splash on, to be honest.
I'm with Woody. O-line in the later rounds, draft an edge.
Because there are so many teams that need offensive line help. I don't know if there's going to be much movement in the free agent market for offensive linemen that we're going to be able to get.
Well, and it also depends on where we place in the draft, right? At the end of the season, where we setting that. We know there's going to be quarterbacks that need to be taken. There's not too many out in this draft right now.
Yeah, but this
sure there is about the only one.
There aren't that many teams that are in desperate need of a quarterback compared to the last 2 years, though.
I mean, Jacksonville. Do you think they're going to move on from Trevor? I know they owe him a lot of money, but he's not winning them games.
No, they're going to move on.
New York, Giants just released Daniel Jones.
Giants,
Dak may be gone.
Giants and Jets are going to need a quarterback.
Vegas, maybe.
If
Jones doesn't go there.
Carolina again?
No, I don't think they're going to go for a quarterback.
You don't think they'll go after another quarterback? I think they will.
I think no, because really after the top two quarterbacks there isn't much, and unless they're the first or second pick, I don't see it. I don't see it for them this year. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a free agent. Danny Dimes is a free agent. Either Fields or Russ will be a free agent. I think
they signed Russ on an extension.
I don't think they signed both. So I don't know if the quarterback situation is going to be like it was in the draft. But a lot of people need line help. And I think for us, another edge rusher, we needed a high-end edge rusher. And look, if there's a high-end edge rusher with the Carolina pick, I think I would take an edge rusher with my second pick and then go back to the O-line for our original second pick.
Well, what do you think if Austin Booker picks it up?
I think he is going to pick it up, but we still need more depth.
We need more
I think Austin Booker's played pretty good so far this season, and he's coming along. But I don't know if I can get.
Now you could probably convince me to get a defensive tackle to help stop the run. You could probably convince me on that one.
I mean, a defensive tackle or an edge or any kind. Put it this way: I think the first three picks are going to go between the O line and D line.
It's all going to be the trenches,
right?
I think all trenches.
And I think if you take your O line with your first pick, that's the most glaring obvious thing, and you're going to get
that blue chip player,
right? But then look, you're going to get 3 blue chips. But I think with the Carolina pick, you're going to take, if you've got a blue chip O line, a blue chip D line, which one's the most impactful to me right now? And they're going to take the better of those 2 players. And then, the next one's going to be O line regardless. I think that's, you're going to get 2 O linemen and a D lineman out of the first 3 picks. And then from round 3 on, you're looking at backups at corner, safety, linebacker, more O-line backup support. Because look at Zach Tom, who's a starter now for Green Bay, was a 5th round pick. So that's those guys that take 2 or 3 years to mature to become an everyday that guy. So we're still going to see O-linemen in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round and whatnot. So.
Well, this is a heavy O-line draft.
That's luck too, man. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of luck in the draft, for sure. I agree with you 100%.
I mean, I think if a defensive lineman goes down and an offensive lineman goes down, we have more depth, believe it or not, on the defensive line than we do the O-line. So I would rather get a couple of these good draft picks. Like that's why I said the first 2 picks are offensive linemen. So if somebody does get hurt or they beat them out in training camp, we have that depth either way.
I would, and like Woody, I don't disagree with what you're saying. However, if let's say like this year, some of these, like we looked at the top 3 edge rushers, and a couple of these guys fell way back in the draft. If a similar situation happens, and you have a guy that you pegged as a top 20 guy, and here you are at 34, the second pick, let's say in the second round, you're at 34, you're at 35, and that guy's there. I think you take him. And if that kind of situation, or like like a Brock Bowers situation, like Brock Bowers is the guy everyone thought was top 10, and he fell way back to 16 for the Raiders. If you got an edge guy or interior defensive line guy who falls back like that, who you as a first round blue chip, and now you're getting him at 35 or 36 or whatnot, I think they would take him over another O-line.
That's why I wanted Dallas Turner reverse.
Right. Look how far Turner fell back in Minnesota.
I was actually going the opposite side. I wanted Joe Alt.
Well, yeah, he was picked right before us.
He was gone.
Yeah, I know. That's what pissed me off. Well, wasn't Atlanta that picked? Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. Chargers picked what, 5th?
Yeah, because Atlanta took Penix, and that was like that's what we knew we had.
Nobody saw that coming though.
No. That was the most surprise pick.
Was going to get drafted.
Yeah, that was the most surprise pick of that first 10 picks was Penix.
But as far as free agents, if we spend money, I mean, we're not spending money on skill position guys. So
if I'm spending money, I'm going after a big center.
That's what I'm saying. Unless there's some big line, trench guy out there, that's the only place we spend money. Now, look, we are going to free up $18 million of cap space with Keenan Allen, for example. We are going to free up cap space.
We'll get a compensatory pick.
We're getting some cap space from the bum that we cut from Nate Davis. I think they might spend. I think Keenan Allen's I'm not ruling Keenan Allen coming back next year out. I'm not ruling that out. Who knows what's going to transpire from tracks? Like he may say, you know what? Let me do 3 years at an average of $12 million, and I would take that. If he's willing to take that, I think we'd be willing to spend it. Right, and that just solidifies that position even further, and it makes it obvious we just need trenches, and that's all we're caring about. Because we don't, Gordon, Brisker, they're going to need extensions. Sanborn might need an extension. I don't remember.
Yeah, he'll be cheap though.
They'll be relatively cheap, but I mean, that's where the money's going to go. So as
long as we don't give an Eddie Jackson contract out, Jesus.
I don't see the Bears spending a lot of money in free agency, and obviously we don't have the big four that Poles has right now with what their targets are. But I don't think there are that many targets out there. So if he's going to spend some money, it's going to be extensions and re-sign. And then it's going to be draft heavy, I think. I don't think there's that much out there because teams are so needy anyway. Now, when it comes, we'll see also how the Bears performed this week. So we're at that point. We're about 12 minutes out. Let's start doing some predictions. I'll give Mike because he had to give it early. Producer Mike has the prediction 23-21 Bears. That's his prediction. So Woody, I know you don't have any feelings on this one way or the other, so I'll go to you. What do you think?
It's the last time. It's plain and simple. This is the last time. Tough schedule. We're playing at home, and Vikings have better team, I think, than Green Bay does with the players they have on offense and defense. But I'm picking the Bears to win 26-19.
Bear down, Mike. What you got?
27-21 Bears.
Throwing touchdowns or rushing touchdowns today?
It was a 7-14. Got 4 rushing touchdowns, right? No, 3.
Rushing touchdowns.
No, that was rushing touchdowns. Yeah, so 4. Oh, how many rushing? 2. 1 for Roshan, 1 for DeAndre.
And who's going to get is there going to be
I think Matt's going to get a touchdown.
Okay.
And
Caleb Williams is the first Bears quarterback since 2005. Hold on. He's the first quarterback since 2005 with 0 touching zero pass touchdowns in the last in a 4-game stretch. Interesting. So hopefully that gets broken today. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I'm choosing Komet and Rome to get a touchdown.
Look at I agree with Woody that this is a better Vikings team than Green Bay. Statistically speaking, Green Bay's defense is not as good, but they're like one's 11, one's 12. It's not a big change. Okay, Robert's going to win with the Bears winning. Wait, he wants the Bears to win, but he's calling it 31-19. Well, we know he's smoking a lot of weed this morning because the Bears haven't given up 31 points.
Well, you better knock on some wood.
Wow,
Yeah.
you want that finger? I'll fucking break it off.
Yeah. Look at you negate the pass rush by getting the ball out early. Their secondary is ranked like 24th in the league right now. We can beat them passing. Our defense somehow, even though our defense played better than Green Bay last week statistically, dropped back to like 17th or something like that. No, it's 14th. So whatever, it's still top tier defense. Our problem is we're not getting the pressure on the quarterback and our run defense. So we're both played into our weaknesses. Both teams are. I trust Caleb more than I trust the Ghost Hunter. So, and Caleb has not thrown a pick since week
the Jaguar game.
That was his last pick, correct? He's got 5 on the year.
Well,
I don't
also
see him.
His last touchdown passes too.
I don't see him throwing a pick today. I think the Bears have been really good at ball security. I think we're going to get some turnovers from Minnesota, and that's going to be the bigger difference. And also, look at what I love about this offense now. I don't have to score every drive, but I can change the field position. This offense now allows me to, at minimum, change field position on you. I have the Bears winning this one in a close one. We're getting the +3 because of the home on the line. That tells you a lot of things, too. If Vegas is going with the +3 for the home team, they're thinking it's a close game. I'm going to go 24-17 Bears.
But when they say +3, Ken, that
means Minnesota's favorite.
They're picking Minnesota.
No, they're getting it's the Bears. The Bears getting the 3 points. I don't do the. I know.
Oh, you don't do that.
Anytime it's in the negative, if it's minus, that means that team is favored.
Yeah, if
the Bears are getting the Bears are 3 points favored.
Yeah, because
every home keep it close.
Every home team should be getting at least negative, plus negative 3. So
that's what the Bears. So right now Vegas has the Bears getting a 3. That's how close they think it is, and I agree with them. I think it's going to be a very close game, and the Bears will pull that out. But look, we have the toughest schedule in the NFL. That's the other thing. We have the toughest schedule in the NFL. And as long as the Bears if all these are 1-score games and the Bears are in them, this is where we need to be as we progress and we can identify those final pieces to make that push next year. I don't know if we're ahead of schedule, if we're on schedule. I think it's great that we figured out Shane Waldron and made the move when we did versus wait until the end of the season like we did last year. I wish they would have fired the OC last year mid-season, but we waited long. So that's good on Flus for learning.
Well,
season to
season. They waited because we got hot towards the end.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone kind of knew when he didn't pull the trigger. So I'm happy that Flus pulled the trigger, learned from his mistakes. I think everyone's learning from their mistakes on this Bears team, and we're starting to trend better in the right direction. We're not a bad team. We're in game. We're playing some of the best teams in the NFL.
We're not the Jets.
We're not the Jets. We're not Carolina. We're not New York. We're not. We're losing to really good football team. Minus doing.
And we're also in the hardest division.
Yeah. So that's how we see it. Now, guys, don't forget. Of course, don't forget tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central. We'll have Ken in the morning, and we'll be going over the week football. Well, program note for us. Cam's got it 17-10 Bears. Thank you for your prediction, Cam. Guys, put your predictions in there. If you're on X, you can leave us your prediction in the comments as well. You can comment onto the show, and we'll be able to see it. Wednesday's show for Halas Hall will also be a Warwick show because we're on the short week and we've got the Lions on Thanksgiving. That game is an 11 a.m. Central start, so it's before we all have Thanksgiving dinner. So that's a nice one. We'll be able to watch that game, then go eat dinner during the Cowgirls game. So Wednesday's show we'll talk about this game a little bit today, and then the Lions game Thursday because we got the short week. Then we get the mini bye, and we go on a 3-game road trip. So that will be interesting as we watch the progression of this team. So looking for a great game today, guys. I'm excited.
We hope.
Yeah.
So, but Santos, yeah, I hope he gains some legs. Yep. So everyone, don't forget to be with us though tomorrow for the morning show Wednesday. Where do you want to wrap us up? We got like about 2.5 minutes to go.
All right. Like I said, last game. I'm done. Hardest schedule of the year. We're playing our home game. We got to break this home losing streak. We had the largest in the beginning of the year. Defensive line has to get in there with Sam Darnold. All these teams are making Sam Darnold look like a fucking Pro Bowler. So we got to get in on him. Justin Jefferson has to be stopped. Jalen Johnson is going to be on him all day, but can't forget about Hawkinson and Addison. Got to stop this run game. Our run game has to be up. We have the same game plan as last week. Quick passes, design runs for Caleb Williams, and hopefully Cairo Santos doesn't miss any field goals or whatever like that. So we got to keep in here. I'm picking the Bears 26-19. Everybody, thanks for joining us, and bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down. And we got a quick program note for those watching. We got Gerald Johnston crew calling the game. I'm not too upset with that one.
No, it's better than Butt Sanchez.
Yeah. So everyone enjoy the game. For those on the feed, Mike should have that out to you guys now. If you want to get on the feed and aren't, get with Mike the Bear fan. But we're going to end about a minute earlier or so this week to give you all time to migrate, get in front of your TV set. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on 10 tomorrow morning, and we'll see you right back here on Halas Hall on Wednesday night. Bear down, everyone.